Hey, good morning, everybody. It is first day of September, and we woke up this morning to 40-degree weather, and woo, little chilly out there. But I think it's supposed to warm up to about 70s today. But that 40-degree weather just kind of serves as a reminder that our summer is fading fast, and we are blowing into the fall here. And looking forward to what God has for us this fall. We've got an exciting fall planned, and some great events planned, and hopefully be a part of all of them. But man, what a chilly reminder this morning at 40-degree weather. Want to apologize for the lateness of the hour. I didn't realize what time it was, and kind of got and then kind of jumped on here. And so I apologize for that. Let's look. We're going to be in Psalm 136 this morning. Psalm 136. Yesterday, we said goodbye to the in-laws. They were here for over a month, and we had a great time with them. And we traveled part way with them and got some lunch at the Cracker Barrel. And enjoyed last moments together there, and they're traveling, kind of taking the roundabout road to Florida. I think they're going to the East Coast here and doing some other things as well. So you be in prayer for them if you don't mind. And then we came back and had kind of a celebration of what would have been my parents' 42nd wedding anniversary. And we had a good time of celebration there, celebration of a great God. And the fact that we have great hope in Jesus Christ and in heaven, and we'll see Jesus, of course, in heaven, and we'll see my dad once again in heaven as well. We look forward to that day, but we celebrate each and every day here on this earth. For each and every day is a gift from God, and I want to encourage you to treat every day that way. And enjoy each day and live for the Lord each day. We don't know when our last day on this earth will be. And so let's live for each day and live for the Lord each day. And so I've rambled enough about that, but thank you so much for your prayers yesterday. Many of you who kind of knew what was going on yesterday with going downstate and all that. All right, let's look. Psalm 136. Here we go. We started this yesterday, and we were reminded yesterday about giving thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever. We looked and saw how God is. He is. Let's see, verse number 2, the God of gods. Verse number 3, we see that he is the Lord of lords, and we see that he's worthy of our praise. He's worthy of our honor. Now, as we look, we're going to look at verse number 5. And continue down, and we'll see how far we get. It's kind of a longer chapter, and I already spent too much time on our intro this morning. But let's look down at verse number 5. It says, to him that that by wisdom made the heavens, for his mercy endureth forever. And we're gonna be reminded of his mercy enduring forever, and we're gonna get little hot shots or snippets into history, specifically the history of Israel, and just examples of God's mercy enduring forever. And so we see that he made the heavens, for his mercy endureth forever. Verse number 6. To him that stretched out the earth above the waters, for his mercy endureth forever. God creating the earth. Verse number 7, to him that made great lights, for his mercy endureth forever. God creating the sun, the moon, the stars. Verse number 8, the sun to rule by day, for his mercy endureth forever. God instituted time and the sun to rule the day. Verse number 9, the moon and stars to rule the night, for his mercy endureth forever. And we see the day created. We've got days and weeks and months and years and so on. Verse number 10, to him that smote Egypt in their firstborn, for his mercy endureth forever. You remember the 10 plagues that God put upon Egypt as he was preparing to free Israel from Egypt. And you remember that last plague, the firstborn being killed. Verse number 11, and brought out Israel from among them, for his mercy endureth forever. God is the one that led Israel out of Egypt. With verse number 12, with a strong hand and with a stretched out arm, for his mercy endureth forever. Now get this, verse number 13. To him that divideth the Red Sea into parts, for his mercy endureth forever. And made Israel to pass through the midst of it, for his mercy endureth forever. But overthrew Pharaoh and his hosts in the Red Sea, for his mercy endureth forever. And we see God opening that Red Sea, allowing the Israelites to walk through. Pharaoh and his armies going through, and God closing that Red Sea and delivering Israel from their enemy. And his mercy endureth forever. Verse number 16. To him which led his people through the wilderness, for his mercy endureth forever. To him which smote great kings, for his mercy endureth forever. And slew famous kings, for his mercy endureth forever. And let's look at some of those famous kings. Sihon, king of the Amorites, for his mercy endureth forever. And Og, the king of Bashan, for his mercy endureth forever. Even as Israel traveled through the wilderness and longed for that promised land, God gave them victories time and time again over kings, and we see famous kings here that God grants the victory to the Israelites. God preserving his people, meeting the needs of his people, and God taking care of and providing for his chosen people. And we see the response that Israel has to all of these great events and God's provision for them. His mercy endureth forever. And typically, as the psalm was read, it would be an individual that would read probably the first part, to him which led his people through the wilderness, and his mercy endureth forever would be a response that was claimed by those as well that were reading it. And so we'd have this back and forth going. Let's look at verse number 21. And gave their land for a heritage, for his mercy endureth forever. That promised land that God had for his people and had preserved it for his people. Even a heritage unto Israel, his servant, for his mercy endureth forever. If there was any doubt who the promised land, who the land of Israel belonged to, who Canaan belonged to, it was Israel. It's declared here in Scripture, who remembered us in our lowest state, for his mercy endureth forever. Get this, and hath redeemed us from our enemies, for his mercy endureth forever. God, once again, we know Israel was not perfect, and God would allow armies to come in and to overcome Israel and overwhelm Israel, but God would deliver them. And we read in the book of Judges, even the book of Kings and Chronicles, how Israel would fall away from the Lord, and then God would welcome them back, and God would rescue them. He would redeem them from their enemies. Verse number 25, who giveth food to all flesh, for his mercy endureth forever. And then we see this last challenge. Oh, give thanks unto the God of heaven, for his mercy endureth forever. Here we read a lot about the history of Israel, just kind of maybe some of the high points of Israel. And let me remind you now of this. We serve that same God, and that same God that was forgiving of Israel, that same God that welcomed back Israel with open arms is the God that we serve today. And let me encourage you, God doesn't give up on us, so don't give up on him. I don't know your past. I don't know the mistakes of your past, but I do know that our God is a forgiving God. And so let's not run from him, but rather recognize our sin for what it is, confess it, forsake it, and live for God today. Don't continue to beat yourself up about your past. Israel could have done so, but God forgave him, and his mercy endureth forever. And the same is true for us today. God's mercy endureth forever. And let's give thanks that it does. And I'm going to leave you with those thoughts for the day. Thank you so much for being on. Sorry that it was a little bit later today. Don't forget the services tonight at 6 o'clock. Hope to see you there. Don't forget the yard sale, church-wide yard sale right here at the church this Saturday. And then back to school Sunday, we have survival kits for our young people. Please don't forget, keep that in mind and look forward to giving these survival kits to our young people, really dedicating the school year to the Lord. All right. Lord bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Let me give a few shout outs and then I'll let you go. Sherry, thank you so much for being on. Good morning to you. And thank the Lord that he is good. Shelly, been praying for you and glad that you are recovering and been praying for you. Kind of a bummer of a way to spend a vacation. But God's got a plan. He's got a purpose, and I'm glad that you're on the mend. Cliff and Karen, good morning to you. Ingrid, good morning. Thank you for being on. Charlie, good to have you on this morning as well. Brittany, good morning to you. Thank you for watching this morning. Hope that the kids had a great first day of school yesterday. Lord bless you all once again. Have a wonderful day. Lord willing, we'll see you tonight for our services. We've got classes for everybody. Be sure and be here if you can. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.